Hey everybody, it's Matt the Garden Guy here. So, I have here celery root. Celery root is one of those root vegetables that take a very, very long time to germinate and to grow. Right now it's about mid-January. I recommend that you start your celery root seeds right away. I'll show you how I plant them. Hey everybody, it's Matt the Garden Guy coming here at you. Hey, so I'm deciding to do a new series of grow along root vegetables. I had a lot of people say that they wanted to start growing root vegetables this year when I did my poll a couple days ago. I also last year had a lot of people asking me about my root vegetables. So I'm doing a grow along series. Use the hashtag RootVegGrowAlong2023. It's right down there. Hey, I highly encourage you to grow along with me right down below. Hashtag RootVegGrowAlong2023. And some of you might also be asking yourself, what are other root vegetables out there? Well, ones that some people might think right off the top of their head are carrots, parsnips, beets, radishes, potatoes, turnips, anything that grows under the ground, it's going to be a root vegetable. I grow a lot of root vegetables in my garden. I do grow a lot of potatoes and a lot of carrots. I do have a very good success rate with parsnips. I did a new item called parsley root last year. And then I also have my celery root that I like. I love growing the celery root. Celery root takes an extremely long time to germinate. It's about the same amount of 20 to 30 days, just like celery takes to germinate. So we want to start getting these planted. The celery root also takes a very long time to actually form. You're most likely going to harvest your celery root at the end of the season. So here in Wisconsin in Zone 5B, I will end up harvesting my celery root at the end of the season, probably about the end of October, early November. So right around 10 months to totally form. So let's get them in our pots right now. So I have my tray going right here. Go ahead and grab my seed starting mix, and I'm just going to go ahead and put it in here. It looks like it's kind of dry, so I want to go ahead and try to get this seed soil a little moist. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in here, and then I'm going to go ahead and set this in some water so the water will soak up from the bottom. There we go. I got this in a tray of water. I'm going to go ahead and let this soak up some of the water to start making the soil moist. All right, while this does its magic, I'm going to start turning my attention to ginger. Ginger is also one of those root vegetables. I'm following along with the hashtag GingerGrowAlong2023. We got a bunch of gardeners planting their ginger right now using that hashtag GingerGrowAlong2023. So I'm following that. I'm going to go get my ginger out of the bag here. We'll start putting it in the pot. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut the ginger out. One thing I highly recommend, you get ginger that is organic. Anything that you buy that's organic, it's not sprayed with a growth inhibitor. Typically people will buy stuff that is not organic and they'll ask, why is it not growing? Well, it's because it's sprayed with a chemical that is a growth inhibitor, preventing it from growing anymore. So now that we have our ginger, we want to make sure we get a ginger that has a little nub like that right there. We want to make sure it's got several of them on there. If you see right here as we're inspecting the ginger, see how this one is kind of bad right there? We're going to go ahead and break that off here. Now the wound isn't too bad. The wound was really bad. I want to make sure that it completely heals over like it has right there before I put that in my pot. Just going to take a look at the other ginger that I have in here. We want to inspect every single one that we're going to put in there, in the pot that is, and we want to make sure we have some growth on it. We don't want to put one in there that looks dead and that might not have any growth because it's not really going to form for us. It's not going to form the ginger that we want. So look at the rest of them in here. Yeah, we all got these little, kind of hard to see, but we all these little tan looking little fingernails or something. So this one doesn't have too many on it. I'm probably not going to use this piece, but it's good to eat with. So I'll go ahead and probably store it, shave it up, and eat this one. This one doesn't look too good either. And again, we can tell these ones are not good because look how the little finger, the little knob coming out, it's all brown. It's not healthy. So it looks like we're definitely going to use this one right here. And probably this one right here. Now the thing with ginger, a little goes a long way. So we're going to grab our ginger. I got my little bag over here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I got it about 3/4 of the way filled with dirt. We're going to put these right on top. Try to make it so the little fingers are pointing up. So these guys are pointing down, so I'm just going to make sure it's like this. I'm going to put them in the bag. We're going to put a couple inches of dirt on top. Get us with some water. Put like a plastic dome on top. That's about it. I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, so right over here, I have this little potato bag looking thing. And I actually grew potatoes in it. You can kind of see I have a potato in here. I grabbed it from outside. I let all the dirt thaw out. So it's pretty cold, pretty frozen. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those ginger, put them right on top. Then I'm going to just put a little bit of dirt on top of the bag here. All right, so I had to fill this up with a little bit more dirt. Got it in there. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my ginger here. I gotta make sure the fingers pointing straight up. Just go ahead and set it in there. Let me grab the other one right here. Kind of inspect it. Look at the fingers pointing straight up. Put that guy right there. And then grab this one. Same deal. We're gonna dump it right there. Now we're gonna go ahead and fill this with a couple inches of dirt. Then we're gonna put some water on it to kind of get some of this dry dirt, some moisture. Then we're gonna put some type of dome on top of this. Alrighty, so I got the dirt on top. I'm gonna go ahead and get my spray bottle, some water in it. We'll go ahead and give this guy a little bit of a spray. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a good soaking. Then we'll come back and we'll put the top on. Alrighty, there it is. One of those plastic tray tops made a perfect top. This is gonna live within my hydroponic system. So I have my ginger in there. I highly encourage you to follow along. Hashtag ginger grow along 2023. You could be like other gardeners like me and everyone else growing ginger that is posting on there. It's a community. We could help each other out. We could show how we're doing it. We could share ideas, and we could teach other people how to grow the food that they eat. So now that I got my ginger going, one of my root vegetables, let's turn the attention back to the celery root. I'm going to go ahead and get the celery root seeds in right there. And then I'll have 2 of my root vegetables started. All right, so now we're back here at the table. I'm going to go ahead and grab our celery seeds. I have a tray of dirt. I don't know if you would call it a tray, but a little container of seed starting dirt. Right now I'm using indoor dirt because I'm starting my stuff inside. If you were to use, we'll call it outside or non-indoor dirt, as the dirt warmed up, for me personally, I had a bunch of little bugs flying around my house. One of my co-workers told me that he brought some outdoor plants inside, and he had a lot of bugs flying around too. So that concludes my hypothesis that outside dirt has maybe bug or gnat or some type of eggs in it. And when it warms up, they hatch. So make sure you use indoor dirt. That's what I'm trying to say. So I have my little container here. Have it nice and flattened out. What that is the little, push down the little cells there. Go ahead and grab my celery root seeds. Now, a bit of a warning with these. So I'm colorblind, so I have a hard time seeing colors. These seeds in the dirt almost look the same exact color. So as you put your seeds in there, just make sure that you already put seeds in that tray so you don't over put the seeds in there. Nothing's gonna happen. It's just, these seeds are very, very valuable. You only get so many. And you wanna make sure, well, in my case, I wanna make sure I have enough to use. I have enough trays, cells to use all these. So I'm gonna try to put roughly 6 to 8 seeds per cell. It is super hard because they're very small. So I'm gonna go ahead and start dumping these in my hand. And I'm gonna go ahead and seal the bag just in case I knock it over. I am a big klutz and I don't wanna knock it over and lose my seeds. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to grab my seeds. I'm gonna eyeball roughly 8 or so of them. I'm just gonna go ahead and sprinkle them in there. Let me go ahead and do that with all of my cells in here. And then we'll come back and we're gonna put a light layer of dirt on top. Before I get started, I wanna stress this so much. When we put the dirt on top of the seeds, it has to be super, super light. Celery root, just like celery, is a light germinating seed. So it needs light to germinate. So if you cover it up with dirt, you probably already figured it out. They're not gonna germinate. That is a #1 cause on why these seeds do not germinate, is because people go ahead and put too much dirt on top of them when they're planting them. So as I'm talking to you right now, I'm putting seeds in these. So again, celery root and celery root and celery seeds are a light germinating crop, meaning they need light to germinate. So if you put too much dirt on top, they're not going to germinate. So you can see this bag is almost empty. I got 3 more cells in this one. And when I do it, I'm just grabbing them and I'm just twisting my finger so they pop right in there. And then they're evenly getting dispersed out there. So I got a fingerful right there. Gonna go ahead and just twist. And there you go. So I have all of these full. I'm gonna go on and move to my next one here. I don't wanna lose momentum. Go ahead and grab these and put them in. I'm almost out of seeds. These go fast. That's why I say you wanna try to get maybe 8 or so. And typically what I do is I get a fingerful. And if I can just do a couple twists with my finger, that's typically all I need. So yeah, I'm down to just a little bit. And one thing too, these things smell like celery. It's a pretty cool smell. Go ahead and finish these little cells up here. Oh man, I'm almost out. Hopefully I have enough. Just barely enough. So let me go ahead and switch the camera around and I'll show you how these seeds look in one of these cells. So here we go. There's the celery root seeds. They're in there. They're in all of these trays. Some right there, some right there. So like I said, what we're gonna do next is we're gonna grab a little bit of dirt. We're just gonna barely go on top of them, like not that much at all. And who cares if you see seeds? Just barely put them on top of it. And if you're too scared about it, don't even put dirt on top. They'll be fine. All right, So the next step we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and grab some plastic, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap the plastic on top of these to kind of help create an artificial dome, artificial greenhouse, kind of keep the moisture in there, keep the heat in there to help germinate these guys. And there we go. After we get the plastic on top, I'm gonna go ahead and put it underneath the growing light on top of a seed starting heat pad. I'll show you. So there it is. It's in a tray. It's on top of the seed heater. Have them underneath the growing light, and there you go. Like I said, be patient. It will take time. 20-ish days, up to 30 days. Don't freak out if you're day 15 or day 25 and it haven't come up, whatever. If you did everything right, there's still a possibility that they're not going to germinate. It's okay, it happens. That's why we try to start growing them as early as possible. Just in case they don't germinate, we have enough time to start another batch next month. If about mid-February comes along, end of February comes along and you don't have celery root coming up, you might not have it for this coming year. So I hope you learned a thing or two. If you did, please hit that thumbs up and the share button. Greatly appreciate. Helps me out too. If you're new here and you haven't already, please really consider that you subscribe. Got a lot of cool things, learn a lot of new things. And it really helps me support my mission of helping people grow the food that they eat. Hang out here with my hydroponic system for a little bit. If you haven't watched my video yet, go search my hydroponic system video. It really does work. This plant was grown from seed, not in the hydroponic, but in the tray, transplanted to hydroponic. And guess what? I got beans growing. System works. Check it out. Hope to continue to grow along with you guys. Show me things that you're doing. Root Veg Grow Along 2023. Hey, I hope to see you with future videos throughout this year. Until next time, keep growing. I'll talk to you later.